Hello, good people. Spot of Nerd here, and it is day number 12 that we are officially going live every single day in 2026. Just did my workout, aka this is why I look like a douchebag right now, but you know what? It's a good thing to exercise because it took me a long time to figure out, but apparently when you actually do it, you tend to feel better. And when you get old, things start to not work as well, so it's craziest shit I would ever thought I'd believe in, but working out is beneficial. Kind of threw up a little bit in my mouth, but it is what it is. Anyway, that is complete waste of information and totally useless to anybody because thought I'd change it up the viewpoint too. If you notice behind us, I was like, how can I get it to where y'all can see more of my cool ass shit? So we'll test it. We might move it around or something like that, but I like it. Plus, again, I have some really cool shit. Might change it up. Who knows? You'll just have to watch and find out, won't you? Have pity on me. Hit the subscribe, the follow, the likes, comment. Pretty sure some of y'all would love to comment on what we're going to talk about right now. I will try to keep this as simplified as I possibly can because I would be lying to you if I had any idea the specifics regarding what's going on right now in the Middle East, specifically Iran. And it is kind of crazy to think about. There's a revolution going on that we haven't seen since the late 70s. And it's also quite not very telling. It's sad and pathetic really, the fact that the media has been just silent on it. But let's dive into it a little bit because I figured what we could do here for those two or three people that watch, I can simplify it. I can just I we again I saw a pig fly, but yours truly actually decided to try and use AI, and we use Grok to basically find out what the fuck is going on. So we're gonna go through that, and we're gonna read it out, and we're gonna see what AI says is going on, and kind of see if it's really legit or if it sounds complete and absolute bullshit. And then the other crazy ass shit that I did not know until literally about, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes ago. Apparently, there's going to be a John Wick 5. Why have I only just found out right now? John Wick is truly some of the greatest films ever made. And yes, I'm saying greatest films ever made. Obviously, they're not Oscar contenders, but they're fucking amazing ass movies. And I'm in absolute shock because number one, spoiler if you haven't watched the fourth one, technically he dies in the fourth one. So is he dead? Is he not dead? Are we going to get a prequel, sequel? But at the same time, it's John Wick and he's died a couple times. So what are we doing here? So what I figured we kind of do real quick right out of the gate, I found an article from Screen Rant, which is actually a pretty good resource. Let me pull this up. Now, this was, of course, from December. So, again, shame on me for not knowing this information, but yes, please. Sweet baby Jesus, yes, please. Let's see this. Don't be surprised if a new John Wick movie comes out in 2026. I doubt it'll come out in 2026 because number one, it's only supposedly in development. Again, these movies only take what 90 days on average to make, add in the production, blah 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 blah. You would be pushing it to get it at the end of 26, maybe 27, early 27, but I doubt very much you'll get it in 26. So John Wick franchise is in expansion mode as everyone waits to see if Keanu Reeves returns for a John Wick 5. The series is fresh off releasing the first spin-off, Ballerina, which was amazing. Go watch my review. Ana de Armas, or however you say her name, minus Tom Cruise. She will be my wife one day. Despite having the John Wick cameo, the film failed to generate significant box office returns. I think it was just people, yeah, we won't go down that road right now, but the Cliff Notes version, why it failed, was everybody just assumed it was the cliche ideologies, the wokeness. And I'm here to tell you right now, at least as far as I can remember, I enjoyed it. Obviously, again, it's not going to knock it out of the park. Is it worth watching? 1000%. Is it worth paying to go and watch? 1000%. And I really do hope they kind of continue that journey because I really did enjoy it. So, officially speaking, 2026 is going to be a gap year. Lionsgate has not dated any new movies connected to the franchise, but there is a good chance that a big change will come sometime in 2026. This dude, Donnie Yen's spinoff, basically the end credit scene showed him with his daughter. Likely is probably going to have the spinoff series later down the road, but Lionsgate official, who creates the John Wick movies, Lionsgate officially confirmed news of the spinoff at Comic-Con or CinemaCon 2025. Blah 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 blah. Let's see, late 25 production. So it sounds like that spinoff series or film is well into development right now. If the Kane movie's already started filming, there is a reasonable chance there will already be. Oh, they're just saying that's probably what's going to be released at the end of 26. But so it's wow, I thought this was much more informational than it is, and it's really not. This would also ensure Lionsgate keeps a steady flow of John Wick releases coming as part of sort of John Wick 5. Reeves can't play John Wick forever, so it's Paramount that get it? See what they did? Paramount, even though it's Lionsgate. So it's Paramount that the studio finds other characters audience will follow, hence the spin-offs. But and that's the end of okay, you know what? That's on me, guys. That was a waste of a fucking article. But anyway, the whole highlight of it is if there is really going to be a John Wick 5, thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. That is fucking amazing. I seriously, it's one of those franchises that only got better as it went along. The story got better, the writing got better, the visuals got better, the acting got better. It is just all in all epic. And if you're not a fan of John Wick, there is seriously something wrong with you in the most loving way possible. So we'll just leave it at that. All right. Spoiler, if it matters or whatever you want to call it, let's switch gears over to a discussion around Iran. If you have been hiding under a rock the last couple weeks or insert XYZ, yada, 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 there is essentially a revolution currently going on in Iran. Thousands of people are being slaughtered by their own government, all basically to do with the people wanting freedom. Iran, historically, even to this day, is probably the number one supplier of terrorism in the world. Let's be very clear and very direct and honest about that. Iran is like the birthplace and the like ground zero for terrorists and terrorism. It's just facts. Look it up. It's not really that hard to find. So when the Islamic State came in last couple decades, this has been going on for 36 years now. 79 was the revolution. The people are finally done. They are fed up, and they are so fed up that they are willing to sacrifice their own life to make it change. If you look back in the texts, in the histories, in the marketing, and everything in between, believe it or not, you used to be able to find women dressed in swimsuits because they were allowed to, versus today, they are legally required to wear, cover up. I mean, it's a path we could go down so many different roads in so many different ways. Obviously, I would be lying if I had a reasonable accurate detail around that subject other than the fact that basically women are second to men. It's just that's what it is. It's the rule of law there. You can look this up. It's not rocket science. It's everything other than just the truth is what it is. Here in America, everybody is on an equal plane. People that don't believe that, it's again another road we don't need to go down for the next 48, 75 years. It's just what it is. So with Iran, that's currently going on, if you're not familiar with it, the entire country has essentially been locked down. Internet has been blocked. Electricity has been shut down. Basic human needs have been thrown to the wayside because the regime, the government, supposedly the government that has been established for the last couple, God knows how long, has basically said, you will do what we say and you will like it. Kind of sounds familiar, doesn't it? Or at least getting to a point of that regard. So, yours truly, for the first time ever, and I'm even in shock myself, decided to use AI to kind of better understand what exactly is going on in Iran. And yeah, I use Grok. So for those of you that are kind of like shaking your head or like, it's Grok, it's Elon, blah, 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 just shut up. Because quite frankly, I could use Gemini or whatever it is, Google's, and they're going to tilt it one way or the other. And you know how I know that? Because when Gemini first got released, they literally, people around the world were asking, show me a picture of George Washington. And it showed them a picture of an African American gentleman. All I'm saying with AI is a human being creates it. Sure, AI learns and adapts and evolves, but let's be honest, it's a human algorithm that starts it. So when you basically have an African American George Washington, I'm sorry, but Gemini I call bullshit. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. So, you know what it is? You know what it is? I'll tell you what it is.
Well, I call bullshit.
It's exactly what it is. I gotta use the clip every time I can, so let's switch it up. Let's go over to, is Grok a dude? I'm assuming it's a dude, so we'll just pull this up. So I asked Grok a very simple question. I asked, what is happening in Iran? And this is the response. And I will read it to you now. As of January 12, 2026, Iran is experiencing widespread anti-government protests that began on December 28th, 2025. That is kind of a little bit fishy. If you kind of look at it, it definitely happened before that. But again, reasonably within the last month. Initially sparked by economic grievances, but escalating into calls for regime change, which has been basically the last 36 years. The unrest has spread to over 185 cities across all 31 provinces, so basically the entire country, marking one of the most significant challenges to the Islamic Republic since the 1979 revolution. I encourage you to go look it up. It's a lot of history. I know it's crazy to have reading history, I know, and reading facts. I know it's hard for a lot of people, but just fucking do it. Protesters are chanting slogans like death to the dictator and demanding the end of clerical rule, with some voicing support for the exiled Crown Prince Reza, that dude. The government has imposed a near total communications blockout, including internet shutdowns, limiting information flow, and making it difficult to verify events on the ground. Thankfully, and I don't mean this in a good way, thankfully, we have real video, real testimony from people that are actually there. And yes, it is horrible to see, but they are literally mowing down. So imagine what's going on in Minneapolis, but literally the government is mowing them down with bullets. There's body bags everywhere. You can go, and I'm not encouraging you to do this, but I'm just saying if you were to dive deep enough, there is video and there is evidence everywhere of this. It is fucked up beyond belief. Shut your goddamn mouth about Trump and the whole dictator, fascist, blah blah blah. Shut your goddamn mouth. And I'm not gonna hide behind that bluntness, other than the fact of, you want to talk about what real tyranny is, what real dictatorship is? Look at Iran right now, which is exactly why you aren't hearing anything about it, because it is destroying every narrative the media has right now. And it is kind of in a priceless sense. Again, I don't want people dying or hurt, but like, it's absolutely beautiful because the people that are protesting, allegedly, example, Minneapolis, Minnesota right now, everything they're protesting is exactly what's occurring in Iran. Shut up. So, key drivers of the unrest, the protests stem from a severe economic crisis exacerbated by the currency collapse, which, let's be honest, yeah, it's disaster. Inflation is around 40%. Just to give you some comparisons, during the Biden administration, which completely destroyed America economically, ways that it will take decades to recover from, inflation rose nearly 17 to 20%. If you look at the real numbers, double that. So you think shit's expensive here? you can't even imagine what it would be like there. Just basic needs from humanity, like food, water, etc. Speaking of that, severe drought, decades of mismanagement have led to critical water scarcity. So again, this is exactly what a true dictatorship looks like. The rich, the kings, the queens, everybody's going to get what they want. You will have nothing and you will like it. Um, Demonstrations have evolved from economic strikes by shopkeepers to political demands, including criticism of the regime's funding of foreign proxies amid domestic hardships. AKA, the people of Iran don't want to fucking pay their tax money or whatever it is towards nuclear weapons. Oh my God, how shocking is that? Said sarcastically. These issues have united diverse groups, including students, workers, and ethnic minorities, in what protesters describe as a fight for freedom. Government response. Iranian authorities have responded with heavy crackdowns. Security forces, including police and the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, have used live fire, tear gas, and mass arrests across against demonstrators. Supposedly, speculation right now is Wednesday, they're going to go full ape shit on these rioters, as in, you either go home or you die. This is not like a joke. This is not parody this is just the reality of what's happening there. Just blows my mind. The regime has framed the protests as a foreign plot orchestrated by the US and Israel. Shut the fuck up. This has absolutely nothing to do with Israel. Please just do an if you have any ounce of belief in that, dear God, please talk to an Iranian. Talk to somebody with some sort of knowledge behind this, because if you actually think for a moment that Israel has anything to do with this, you need help. You really need help in relation to the fact of you need to grab a book, history, knowledge, whatever it is, and just read it, because my God, stop believing what CNN is telling you and any other media network as well. Just do some research. It is not that hard. It's not rocket science. And I get so passionate behind it because my God, the ignorance is astounding right now around this. The only thing the US is doing is backing the freedom fighters, basically saying, we support you. And if you go further, AKA, if this government goes further in massacring people, we might have to step in. So I'm actually one of those kind of, although Trump ran on the whole, I'm not going to send anybody in and da 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 da. Look what we did in Venezuela. In about 88 minutes, we literally toppled the dictatorship. Imagine what we can do in Iran. These are some casualty numbers. Again, I don't really know if these are factual or not. You can kind of look them up yourself. But bottom line is, thousands of people are dying right now. Thousands. And it's just beyond heartbreaking and tragic. International reactions, of course, Trump has announced a 25% tariff on the exports. Targeted military strikes are on the table. Trump claims Iranian leaders have reached out for negotiations, but that's probably bullshit. Let's see. Oh yeah, this Iran's response, of course, is ready for war, but also for dialogue, open to nuclear talks without threats, and warned of retaliation against U.S. bases or Israel if attacked. AKA, they're basically just trying to be douchebags, as they always seem to be. So the potential outlook. So this is where kind of AI just take with a grain of salt. Protests show no signs of abating, and that's true. It's only getting bigger, with reports of renewed clashes in Tehran and strikes in other cities. The regime's survival is under strain, but its history of repression suggests prolonged conflict. Opposition figures like the other guy are gaining visibility abroad, potentially signaling a push for monarchy restoration. Not really sure what that means. The communications blackout may be masking the full extent of violence, raising fears of higher casualties once lifted. Yeah, I can't even imagine what the reality is. Escalating US Iran tensions could lead to a broader regional instability, though both sides express openness to talks. And we all know how Trump does things. So let's be very clear about that. I'm all for it. I say do what needs to be done to make sure that these people not only can live freely, but don't have to die. It's that simple. It's really that fucking simple. So that's it. That's kind of it in a nutshell. And again, it's tragic, it's horrible, but the reality of it is this is what's happening right now. And if you're not paying attention, I encourage you to, because all of this that's going on right now in the United States, specifically with a certain alleged ICE incident in Minneapolis, blah, 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 you'll notice it's only a certain demographic that seems to be causing the grief and the havoc, when the reality of it is simply what we're trying to accomplish with all of this, ICE, deportations, etc., is to make sure that what happens in Iran doesn't happen in the United States. And if we lost in 2024, if Trump did not get his second term, you may have just lost the country. You may have literally repeated, albeit not tomorrow, maybe not next year, but you will have ultimately led the road to what ultimately is Iran today. And if that doesn't scare the living shit out of you, you are clearly not paying attention. It's just that fucking simple. So we'll leave it with that. Nice positive note for you there, huh? Really happy and exciting. So that's great. Anyway, jokes aside, seriously, pray for the Iranian people. Pray for them, whoever, what God you pray for, because damn, what's going on there is insane and tragic and horrible, and everything in between that words can never describe. And my God, what's going on here, you just kind of like, you do the whole to your forehead, and you just kind of shake your head and you go, my God, these people have no idea. These people have absolutely no idea. And maybe another time we'll get into it, but we'll talk about the Insurrection Act, which is not martial law, just FYI, for everybody that actually believes, again, what CNN is telling them. There's a very clear definition, deferential, whatever the fuck that word is, between martial law and the Insurrection Act. The Insurrection Act is designed to stop all of what's going on in relation to basically these ICE officers dying because of insane people that try to kill and murder them. Martial law is dictatorship. It's really, metaphorically speaking, as simple as that. Again, I encourage you, look it up. It's not rocket science. So, anyway, y'all, we got to leave this a little bit more on a positive note. Legos. I mean, why not, right? First and foremost, for 20 bucks, Lego brought out, they did a Back to the Future car. And, for $20, you have to buy it. So I'm currently building that guy. It actually is quite detailed. So again, I'll show you when it's done, but I love this thing. Like, it really is really good. Check it out. Credit where it's due. Lego's doing a fantastic job recently. Update on the Ferrari, which will eventually sit right here. Again, that's why I'm moving the camera, because hopefully it's going to be a beautiful shot right there. Let me show you guys this. This is the update. So far we are, I guess, really, it's not really, I don't know how you describe this, but we're getting there. You know what I mean? This one's going to take a while. This one is definitely going to take a while to build, but it's going to be exciting. I mean, just look at these tires. Look how fucking fatty these tires are. It's fucking nuts. So yeah, anyway, that's a little bit of a positive note. Why not? So this is Douchebag McGee with his sleeves up here, because whatever. And I appreciate you guys for watching, listening, the whole 9 yards. If you made it this far, I super duper appreciate it. Yeah, it's a fun kind of world we're living in right now, isn't it? Yay. So tell me your thoughts. Seriously, I'd love to know. Let's debate. Come on to the show, have a chat, respectful, non-hateful. Let's just have a communication between two human beings, even if you have a different opinion. It's really not rocket science. And until next time, folks, we will see you tomorrow. Later, y'all.